The subject for today's video is going to be these multicoloured crayons. I showed them a little bit in the last video, but today is going to be a full try them out, see what they do and see what I can create with them. I'll be using the same watercolour pad that I did for the last video because it's a very good pad at a very good price. I believe this was £2.75 and I think these were £2 each. Let's open these up and see what they can do. Here we have our unboxed crayons. They're very shiny and they look great. I'm a bit sad I'm going to be using them. I almost just want to put that somewhere. What we'll do, we will swatch these ones first because they're the smaller ones, and then we'll go into this monstrosity. Let's try this pinky red one. So according to the package, basically depending on which edge you're using, it will be a different colour. So to see, this edge is pink and this is more red. So hopefully when we swatch this out, they should be different. Now I have not used crayons since I was obviously a kid, so I don't really remember what I'm supposed to do with them, to be honest, but let's have a go. I've now swatched the red one. I will say I'd call it just pink, like this very red colour was this here, this corner, just looks like a dark pink, and then I used this corner for this colour, so it just looks like a paler pink really. I also tried to just use this edge because it had a few different colours in to see what it did. You can see it's like a darker pink and there's a lighter pink. The thing I would say is that on the back here, it makes out like as you're drawing, different colours will come out, which maybe if you'd like rotated it, but like I don't know how you'd draw like that, but maybe this is just the first one. So let's try the second. So this one I'm slightly more excited for, as it's got a dark blue, a light blue, and then like a white, whereas this just appears to have the two shades of pink. So let's try and swatch this out. I've swatched this blue crayon now, and I will say it's an improvement on the pink. This one here surprised me by starting to come out black, and the closer I look it's very hard to see, but parts of the dark blue are actually black, they're not dark blue. It also works much better here. It looks like I've done 3 different lines, but in actuality this is just me doing that motion on one corner. It works a little better for their sort of the way they demonstrate it on the back with the lines. This one's working a little better. The next one I'll try is this lovely purple colour. So we've got purple, what appears to be white, a very, very dark red, and the white's got like a pink tinge around it. I'm not sure if that's intentional or that's just the way the crayon's put together. So let's have a go at swatching this one. That purple I've just swatched is actually really interesting. It's even more interesting than the blue. Especially here where I rubbed it with one edge. You can really see the differences in colour. So that's very interesting. This dark red is also more of a dark plum kind of colour. And the white actually creates like a lilac, because of the way it comes off with the purple. I like this square here because it started off as this pink, and then as I rubbed it went more into the purple, so you've got this colour variation in the square. This one's my favourite so far just because of the tone differences in the colour. Now, I'm a little hesitant about these two specifically because they don't look very nice colours, to be honest. You've got like a very dark orange, a sort of mustard yellow, and then what appears to be like a light brown kind of colour. Let's get into swatching it though, and then we'll see how it goes. So I've just finished swatching this yellowy brown type colour, and I will say I'm pleasantly surprised. The brown is a lot nicer than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be quite a sickly greenish brown, but kind of reminds me of whole grain mustard, and just reminds me of yellow mustard. So I actually quite like the tones. It's giving me a very 70s vibe. The colours mixed a lot more. I don't know if you can see it, but this one's got quite a bit of orange in it. This one's got a bit of yellow and a bit of the brown, and this one's mainly yellow with a bit of the orange. The like line swatches worked quite nicely. These ones also worked the best for the line. I did my wavy up and down line, and that worked quite nicely, going from orange to yellow and back again. And then I actually tried something else. I tried doing like a loop-de-loop, and that worked quite nicely as well. You've got like orange and brown mixing. I still prefer this one just because those colours will blend quite nicely together. This would be more for maybe like contrasting. So we've got one left. Now I'm going to call this the camo crayon because that's exactly what it looks like to me. We've got like a lime green, and then we've got like a greeny yellow type colour. So I'm going to flip my page because I didn't plan this out very well, and we're going to test this one out. I finished swatching the camo crayon, as I'm calling it. It's very yellow, a lot more yellow than I thought it would be, even though yellow is the dominant colour. I actually tried two different corners here and they just came out this sort of greeny yellow colour. The brown did come out in this one, but it's a very light brown, almost like a pale orange. In terms of practicals, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to utilise this one. However, we do have one final giant pencil to try. I think I said this in my last video, but I'm a little confused as to the thoughts behind this one. Because if we remember, these are marketed at children. So I understand these ones being the size they are, but I don't get this. And now it's shaped like a pencil, sort of. It's obviously got the end cut off. So if I was to use it like a pencil, this is going to give me hand strain after a while. I don't know, my hands are small as it is, and even I'm a bit confused as to how I'm sort of supposed to utilise it. So I can't imagine how a child's going to fare. I'm going to do a lot more swatching for this one because I can see so many colours. Let's go ahead and swatch this pencil and see how it works. I finished swatching this giant crayon pencil thing, And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. There's so many colours in here. Every time you put it to paper, you're kind of not sure what you're going to get. But I kind of like it. Really like what I've done here. So it's just me turning the pencil sideways. It also looked really interesting in the swatching. There's so much tonal difference in them, it's amazing. Like this pink has got blue and yellow in it, so it creates a really interesting texture and mix of colours. I also like here in the lines, so doing the swirly line worked really nice, and even doing the straight lines, because maybe it's because this has got an actual point on it, but every time I do a line, there seems to be like different colours coming out. I'm going to go ahead and create an artwork with these, and we will see how they fare. So here we have the final piece. I'm really glad with the way it turned out. I think the colours pop really nicely, and it's still got that sort of childlike texture to it with the way that the the crayons go down on the paper. My final review of these, they're very good. They're very fun to use. I would say this one was more fun than the others, just because it's got all these different colours in, which is what I used for like the streaky rain. But these little ones work very nicely as well. I would say have a parent or yourself, if you are an adult and are able to use a knife without hurting yourself, trim the edges down to more of a point, because after that they work really nicely. When I just used the corners, it was just so much more difficult. You do also get this little pot of stuff. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this, but it's kind of cool to look at, to be honest. So for £4 for just these, great value, really good value. I've shaved like a good chunk of these off and there's still loads left, so you won't run out anytime soon. From an artist's point of view, they're obviously not the greatest thing, but as they are meant for children, I think they're really good and they're fun and there's something a bit different to use. If you liked this video, like. If you really liked it, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.